Hey there, Grand Rising. We're going to ask the angels, saints, ancestors, and spirit guides into our energy for divine guidance, messages for our highest and greatest good, surrounding you in divine white light. So it is, and so it will be. All right. Middle of the deck energy, 9 of Swords. Bottom of the deck energy, 7 of Pentacles. I feel like you are most definitely under attack, okay? And I feel like you focused on what you were guided to focus on. I feel like there were things that you invested your time and energy in, and you didn't look back. I feel like you didn't participate in the mudslinging or anything like that. I feel like you kept to yourself and you kept focused on what you were guided to focus on. You could have been like nurturing this, that, and the other. You could have a bunch of projects going on. Yeah, I feel like this is you focusing on you and your own personal development. Okay. All right, so let's talk about personal development for the collective then. Okay, we're getting the Fool out. All right, so this is you embarking on a new journey, okay? I feel like all the hard work you've put into yourself has paid off, and this is you embarking on a new journey. All right, I feel like it was, a lot. You went through a lot. There's no, I just want to make sure that you don't think that there's any kind of what you went through was challenging, and as a result, you overcame whatever these challenges were. Okay, and you earned this, all right? Okay, we have the 9 of Pentacles. You earned this, right? This is you understanding I have what it takes to accomplish my dreams, and I'm not giving up until I do. We have the Tower in reverse. There's this. Is this meant to be in reverse? Okay, so what I'm getting is that change is coming, but it's not in a devastation or reckoning or downfall. I feel like this is a come up. This is glow up. This is allowing things that no longer serve you to be released so that you can focus on what is in alignment for you. So this is embracing change when change is here. Okay. I feel like, you're a whole new person. This is a new version of you that people don't know. You may have had to mask most of your life, or maybe you were hidden in plain sight. There's this coming to light, you're coming to light. You're coming to others' awareness. And I feel like there's this, strong intuition, or maybe there's some sort of hidden aspect of you that you may keep to yourself, or maybe you've kept to yourself all these years and didn't feel safe to share. I feel like this is those experiences you went through kind of have been a catalyst for you to be in this energy. All right, so that's interesting side topic. I feel like you use your intuition to know what to invest your energy in and what not to. Yeah, and then I have the 2 of Pentacles. Yep, I feel like, balance is being restored. There could have been, things that you had to overcome because they were imbalanced. Maybe you were imbalanced. Maybe what you were around was also imbalanced. I'm getting the Magician energy as well. So this talks about being able to create. Okay, this is heavy creation energy, manifestation energy. Being able to work with someone, okay, and collaborate. Maybe you're meant to work together as a team. So there could be something that's coming in where you're going to have to kind of evaluate things and see which direction to take. I feel like it very much is going to be a change in your life. This could represent whether you're staying or you're going somewhere. I am getting the Pentacles, so I'm getting a bit of it could relate to your career or job, or how you invest, or what you do with your finances, your stability, your security. So it could even be home related, all right, with the Tower in reverse and the 2 of Pentacles. So I feel like you'll have the resources you need to do what you need to do. You know, the magician is the teacher, the student, very resourceful, very magical, mystical, maybe even mysterious. You may be tapping into your like ancestor or ancient wisdom and knowledge that you've gained, maybe through your lifetimes. There's that, especially with the high priestess here. All right, so there may be some sort of shift here playing out. Hierophant and upright. Yeah, this has something to do with like, it could be like a commitment coming in. Okay, yeah, King of Pentacles here, Three of Wands, and then the Two of Swords. Yeah, I feel like somebody's coming in, or there's someone in your energy, or this could be you, masculine, feminine. It is the King of Pentacles. I'm getting like there could be someone that you're meant to work with, okay? And I'm getting like this is a high-level soul commitment, some sort of soul contract here. I feel like they're the magician to the high priestess, or the high priestess to the magician. That is like the Nine of Pentacles over here. I feel like someone has seen, you know, a lot of effort that you've put forward to your growth, your development, you know, building something for yourself. I feel like you're the one that, you know, is accountable and responsible for what you've created here. So you've had a fresh start. You're continuing to increase your stability here. I feel like somebody may have tried to knock your stability, but I feel like all you do is get right back up again. It's like that song. You can knock, like, I get knocked down, but I get up again. Yeah. Three of Wands energy. Something's on the horizon. So this would be something maybe you might have manifested someone to build with. I feel like they're like, it's almost like they're waiting in the wind, or they're waiting for the right time, or divine timing's at play. I feel like there's something that needs to play out still to complete this. So this would be like a 4. So they could be also at a distance from you. Or you might have to make a decision about going the distance in some way. Could be at work. It could be taking something to the next level. It could represent going from one place to another. Like this is kind of a bit of a adventure. Again, decision needing to be made. I don't think you have all the information yet, so it's not time for you to decide, but I feel like you intuitively are picking this up. All right, so it's like this otherwise would be a hidden secret if you weren't the high priestess, but you know, you're a knower of knowing, okay? Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, this was at the bottom of the deck, so this is coming out like you have invested your energy, your time wisely. There might be, you know, energy that might want to create some sort of like blockage, but I feel like you see between both sides and you choose a neutral position. It's like you still observe. You may not need to like engage. Again, kind of keeping to yourself here. Seven of Pentacles is kind of like staying in your own lane. Okay, and then we have the Strength card. All right, so and then we have the Empress here. Yeah, I'm seeing that like whatever you continue to invest in, it is simply putting you in a better position. I feel like you're building your confidence. So whatever you're doing that you do repetitively, consistently, devotedly, it's helping to increase your confidence in yourself. So it may be so that, you know, there's this growth and development. Or this whole process that I'm talking about here was for your growth and development. And I'm getting, you know, you're at the position here where you went from the Nine of Pentacles to the Empress. And then we have the High Priestess still at the bottom of the deck. So, you know, this was something that was meant to teach you what you needed to learn in order for you to be in the position needed for your mission. Okay, so this is about your mission, your purpose. You had to experience those difficulties because you're meant to help and teach those who are going through it as you've been on the other side of it. Okay, I feel like you've been on the other side. You have a new perspective maybe than down here in the weeds, right? So there's a bit of like using our experiences and helping others with our expertise and our experience, right? We've gained knowledge, we've gained wisdom. So you very much could be someone who shares wisdom and maybe even divine messages, maybe even some hidden wisdom and knowledge here. Okay, so this was all for you. Very good. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. This is a blessing that's playing out for you. It's like planting a seed, and then there's your Emperor. Okay, there's a major offer coming in here. All right, and I feel like, you know, this person kind of like observes you from afar. Maybe you don't really know that they have feelings for you, but what I'm getting is, or maybe you do know, maybe you have an inkling, but I feel like there's something that is going to be something like you're gonna have to take a leap of faith. All right, you have to trust your faith. Okay, because this is like stepping out of your comfort zone. Okay, look at Queen and King of Pentacles here. Okay, oops, we're over here. Yeah, this is to help establish the stability and security that you need so that you can be in your Empress energy, which is here to help create and nurture and plant seeds and help the growth of humanity in whatever way that is for you. Everybody has their own unique path and journey. Okay, so don't make it fit if it doesn't fit, but this is about you living your life, following your dreams, creating the reality you want to experience. And, you know, this is you having the resources necessary to create new structures here, okay, on Earth. So this is, you know, whether that's at your job, whether that's in your family, your neighborhood, your community, your church, in any way that you are part of the community where you are blessed with abundance so that you can bless others. Okay, that's what this is. It's almost like God is using someone to bless you so that you can bless others. Okay. Beautiful energy. Yeah, I feel like there is, you know, intentions to create some sort of drama or block this. Just, you know, I feel like they're creating their own obstacles. Like whatever they take action on is potentially going to come right back at them with the Two of Pentacles. So I feel like don't worry about like the crew. I feel like they're being handled. Okay, Justice. Yeah, like I said, they're being handled. And that's going over the Magician. So if they tried to use any type of magic against you, you know, the divine saw it all. Their ancestors, their spirit guides, like, you know, like, come on. That's just more, it's like repeating, you know, it's like repeating 12th grade again, you know, because you didn't graduate. It's like that. It's just like one more year, okay? Maybe pay attention in class kind of thing. I have King of Wands energy. All right. There's a Four of Pentacles here. So I feel like somebody might feel like they're going through some sort of injustice themselves. I feel like there's a lack of accountability and responsibility here. King of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. What's this? High Priestess. Someone tried to prevent or hold back the High Priestess. Okay. All right. Someone's still holding on to the energy of the High Priestess. And then we have Temperance coming flying out. Earth Angel energy. Yeah, I feel like whatever energy they send your way, okay, you use it to create from. So it's like no biggie. No biggie. Okay. We have a King of Swords showing up in the mid position. So this would be someone who shows like a lot of manipulation, control, lying, slandering, defaming, like just like gang stalker, like someone who abuses this power here. I feel like you might have had a dynamic or relationship with someone who was very cutting, very pessimistic, someone even maybe verbally abusive. I feel like ever since you cut them off, they've been holding on to your energy and not able to let you go. All right. Okay. Yeah, I feel like, they're going to have to, let it go. I mean, they have to accept the inevitable is that you have moved on from them and they're stuck having to deal with the shit that they create. And you're focused on creating over here at a higher vibration in the light. I feel like someone is experiencing maybe a dark night of the soul or an ego death at this time as a result of the justice playing out here, possibly awakening here, or having to take a time out to reflect. This really talks about like introspection and going within, because someone is running amok. Jeez. Okay. Sacrificing, surrendering, accepting of something the way it is. Okay. They think that maybe there's some opportunity here. What's this Knight of Cups? Someone thinks there's an opportunity here. All right, Chariot energy. Oh yeah, what's this Knight of Cups, Chariot? So Chariot, isn't that's Cancer energy. Knight of Cups would be water sign energy or just emotions. Somebody might want to come towards you with some emotions. Okay. We do have the Six of Wands. Someone sees you as the prize. You finally see yourself as the prize, whether you're masculine or feminine, okay? I feel like where they went, there's no love there, just drama. Okay. Someone's been dealing with some drama, huh? Seven of Swords. Two of Wands. Getting you have already moved on from this and they're wanting to make a comeback. Okay. Or also I'm getting like somebody's lies are catching up to them is what it is. Okay. And all the shit that they did behind the scenes, okay, to try to prevent the High Priestess, the Empress, or flip it, switch it, High Priest, Emperor from moving on. So there's a lot of karma playing out here. All right, Five of Wands here, and then the Seven of Swords. Yeah, there's this like wanting to try, it's like a redemption energy too. I feel like you've moved on from this player. Okay, you realize that there's no growth there. So the only way for you to continue on your path and grow is for you to do it solo. And that's what you've done. You've left this person behind and they're butthurt and you're moving on solo. All right. And this is like Joan of Arc energy. So this is like you're empowered, you're strong, you're protected, you're guarded, and you're defending your position. Right? Hanged Man, right? This is you see exactly who this person is and who those people are. You're not confused. You know exactly who they are. All right. And they will experience exactly what they wanted for you. And that is what they're being sacrificed. Okay. So if they try to sacrifice you and your purpose and what you're here to do and your family and whatever other shit, that is coming back. All right. You will experience the Ten of Cups. This is someone who you were meant to experience divine love with, right? You're meant to show this person love, teach them love, right? Help them transmute their pain and suffering into love. But instead they thought that they would sacrifice you instead. So I feel like this was something that was a catalyst, something that was highlighting, even mirroring things to you that you needed to resolve so that you could truly accept your role here. So it served its purpose in the sense that it was a catalyst for your awakening, possibly an initiation. It maybe even trained you. So nothing that was experienced here was lost. Okay, nothing was lost with this experience of yours. I feel like you became the observer. You began to learn, take note, withdraw your energy, go within for guidance. Like you learned so much in this process. And here's the thing, like, you protect your peace now. Like, you're no longer allowing energy that's going to interfere with you or your family's happiness, okay? They tried to prevent this from you. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. Someone invested time and energy into this, okay? With a Queen of Cups, okay? Yeah, I feel like they are the ones who have experienced loss, lack, rejection, maybe even isolation, or just refusing to make changes in their life, continuing to operate from this very low vibrational energy, trying to, you know, play the woe is me card and not take accountability for the fact that they're there in that position for a reason. I feel like everybody's blaming you for their hardships instead of looking in the mirror. Okay? I feel like all their hardships are what they wished on you. They actually sent it to you. They actually prayed. I don't know if they prayed, but, you know, sometimes people pretend to be something that they're not. So maybe they prayed, but behind the scenes they were doing some foul, wicked shit. So, you know, what goes around comes around is what's playing out here. Maybe they don't believe in that law. It's a universal law, so maybe they should look it up. Look it up. Universal law is playing out. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, the cycle of being able to, you know, send any kind of ill will your way is being stopped. And they will continue to learn lessons until they get it, until they figure it out. Okay? So, you know, their ways of getting away with it is coming to an end. Okay, and they're fighting it tooth and nail because they want to continue to live their lives the way that they are. They don't want to change. They don't want to improve. They don't want to be judged. They don't want to be responsible or accountable. And so, guess what? Sometimes you don't have any say in the matter. I feel like that's what's playing out here. Yeah, you have no say in the matter. 2 of Cups in the reverse, side position. So this tells me whatever dynamic they're in, they've been like, this is like a false relationship. So they're like pretending to love one another. Like, there's no love here. There's no companionship here. Like, there's someone being exposed in this dynamic. Okay, Ace of Swords in the reverse, and this couple has no divine protection, none. So all the, you know, wicked shit that they're sending out is coming right back, and they don't have divine protection, okay? It could be done by a group, or they're associated with a group. Someone might be telling the truth about them finally, or someone's been lying about this dynamic going on behind the scenes. Maybe they thought they would take their lies to the graves. Like, I'm seeing a bunch of graves here. Maybe they thought they would take what happened to the grave. There's some sort of exposure of that. I feel like somebody, it's just a false couple is really what it is. False toxic couple. Look at devil energy. Yeah. They're not gonna be God. Like, get out of here. So stupid. They think that they're battling you. They're not battling you. They're battling God. Like, and, you know, there's dark energies manipulating them. So it's like they're puppets, right? They're taking a bite of this apple of temptation and all the pleasures of the earthly realm, and they have succumbed to their addictions. All right? They have succumbed to their addictions. What might have had a positive intention or any kind of purity no longer exists. All right, 4 of Swords. So there could even be some sort of like illness as it relates to this karmic couple. I feel like there's a lot of like sexual activity going on here. I don't even know how to cover it up. Like, look at, I have the Lovers and the Devil, both with naked people on it. Okay? So I feel like whatever someone was, you know, doing stuff behind, you know, I'm getting like there's some sort of release of information. There's some sort of release of proof. There's some sort of evidence. There's something that someone recorded that is coming out. The truth is being revealed of what somebody does behind the scenes. I'm getting like sex magic. Okay, they might pretend to be like the holier than now couple, goes to church, whatever, but behind the scenes, there's some, wicked shit going on here. I feel like someone's purity or innocence or playing like nobody does anything or whatever false narrative this is, I feel like it's all coming to light. Okay, Sun, confirmation. Four of Swords, yeah, look at, and then we have the Seven of Cups. This talks literally about all the seven pleasures. Okay, every single one of these cups is like, some sort of way to distract someone. Like maybe they entertain a lot of options. I feel like there's a bit of like a sex addiction here going on. All right, that's what I'm getting. With the Devil, the Lovers, the Two of Cups in the mid position, Ace of Swords in reverse, and then the Four of Swords and the Cups here. Someone might be not well, medically or physically well, emotionally well. Page of Swords, the Moon. Okay. All right, so the Page of Swords is somebody like watching, observing, trying to see if what they spell casted is working. It's like they come to your page to see if anything's worked, right? And then I have the Moon. I feel like there's been many attacks, and now they're starting to return back to who sent them, because they're not going to they're not going to match the vibration of this High Priestess or this Empress. So someone could be getting sick off their own spell casting is what I'm getting. Yep, that's what I'm getting. All right, so maybe it's, I feel like, with the World card, let's get two more cards out. Nine of Cups. Someone could be sick from overindulgence, like drinking or having too much sex. So maybe this could be some sort of like spiritual or sexual disease. I feel like somebody thinks like they're God's gift to women. Something like that. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like, please. I have the World card, the Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, and the Hermit. All right, so again, like, very important note here is that you dealing with this past energy is over. Okay, you have learned what you needed to learn in that contract, and you have completed your part of that contract. All right, and most of it was so that you could burn through and clear karmic debt for your ancestral line. So that was completed, and you're being blessed and recognized for all that you did, and it's time for you to live the destined life. I feel like all your hopes and dreams are coming true, and you will soon be moving on towards your destined path and journey, and it will be lighted up for you. It will be guided, and this is going to be you embarking on that journey. And when we first started this reading, we were working with the Fool, and so the Fool is kind of like that new journey, that new beginning, that fresh experience, right? It's like moving somewhere and starting over. I feel like you have a fresh start coming in, and you meant to kind of keep this to yourself, whatever you're doing and where you're going, how you're moving. Like, don't let anybody know, okay? Because they would love to ruin it for you. They watch to see if their spell work actually hits. So look at how many, I just want you to look at the Moon, look at your subconscious energy here. Like, that you are the light in the darkness. However, you also are the darkness in the light. So you can play both sides. It depends on who's coming at you. So you could be a shadow worker as well as a light worker, or you could be in between. So I feel like it just kind of depends on what you're needing to do in the situation. I feel like you have a strong ability to connect with spirit energy. So you very much could be, realizing now that, it takes many to take you down. And even when they try to take you down, they can't. That's interesting. Yeah, I feel like Look at, you may feel it. You're definitely feeling it. 9 of Wands. This is like, you know, battered, bruised, tired, like time to rest, take a break, right? I feel like you've made it. Or somebody is right now experiencing this side of it, right? They're going through the gauntlet themselves, possibly. 10 of Swords here. I'm getting like children or past life or inner children, or 6 of Cups is like someone is being forced to remember what they did to somebody who only gave them love, and instead they wanted to feed their darkness instead. I feel like somebody, you know, is being made aware and being forced to recognize that they can't blame anybody else. Like, this is, you know, this is all you, right? There's a need to kind of like, yeah, I feel like somebody is just maybe coming to the realization that they betrayed themselves, trying to betray you. Yeah, they literally betrayed themselves trying to betray you. And that sucks, right? That somebody feels that insecure and unworthy to go to the lengths that they did to try to take you out. And this is somebody that they had a soul contract with, okay? Somebody that they were meant to create with. Instead, they wanted to end them completely. And it's because they didn't feel enough. They didn't feel worthy. There's this, like, you know, abuse that they've experienced in their life, and, you know, there's a need to address some of this childhood wound stuff. I feel like they may have had a very dark childhood, and so I feel like there's a lot that's coming up for them that they are seeing now as, you know, it might have been a limitation, right? Like a mindset, like a anxiety, a fear, and operating from that energy, and it's just created a mess. Like, I feel like somebody has created a mess that they have no idea how to clean up. They don't know how to get themselves out of this shitty situation. And then here you are, the Star. I'm also getting the Star is like, there's hope. There's a need for healing here. There's a need to see a healer. There's a need to seek healing support, whether that's professional, however that shoe fits, right? Like, there's a need to remain hopeful. There's a need to kind of like, you know, there's this there's a strong faith here, okay? And there's strong love here. I feel like they may have tried to find your energy and love in all the wrong places because it can't be replaced. They can't find anyone else like you. And I feel like they tried. They tried really hard. But no, you are one of a kind. But here's the thing, like, you had to learn how to fill your own cup up instead of relying on other people to fill it for you. And so there might have been a bit of healing from codependency and, you know, our inner childhood wounds. And, you know, sometimes the healer is the one that needs the most healing. And so sometimes the healer also attracts those who need healing. But the trick here is, and it's not a trick, it's just awareness and knowledge that, you know, you can't pour from an empty cup. And if someone is not willing to fill their own cups, then that's when you step away and say, okay, well, I'm going to let you figure this out for yourself. And so many of us had to step away and let people figure it out for themselves if they want to actually do the healing or not. There is this judgment here that people are afraid because they're like, you know, look at Knight of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, I feel like because someone is still lying on your name, they're being forced to go through judgment. Okay, there's some sort of judgment call being made here. Somebody may feel like they need to come and tell the truth because there's been no truth. There's been a lot done behind the scenes to prevent you from shining and doing what you came here to do. Someone knows someone's dirty deeds and may come forward and speak truth. Okay, I feel like someone is feeling the pressure They may be watching you and seeing that you've been telling the truth the whole time. You have really not been engaged or involved. I feel like maybe they've observed what's played out here as well and may have something to say with the Knight of Swords. I'm also getting like somebody, you know, is up to their same old tricks with wherever they went. So maybe there's a pattern being seen here by outside people. I feel like, you know, you were loving, caring, and kind, and had, you know, this special light about you. And I feel like they tried to dim that light. They tried real hard. King of Cups. Tried real hard. And a Queen of Wands. They tried real hard to silence you. I feel some like there was this envy and jealousy. All right, maybe you had the bright light and someone didn't, and so they thought they could steal it from you. Lo and behold, they don't know who protects you, and they also don't know who you are. I feel like they're finding this out, right? They worked with a group here to try to extinguish your light or steal it for themselves. Okay? And they worked, like, this whole friend group that this person may think that the person that you dealt with, like, whoever they associate with, they are not their friends. Okay? They are not their friends. In fact, it's like enemy territory. Look at 5 of Cups. Yeah, enemy territory. This person, this energy, this Knight of Swords in reverse, this Queen of Wands, the 3 of Cups here. Yeah, they worked with others to try to steal your destiny, like destiny swap. Try to like take your abundance, your legacy, try to prevent you from building, creating, even experiencing love. I feel like they are being devastated because now they are receiving exactly what they wished for, except for they wished it for you, not for themselves. But the universe doesn't know the difference, and so they're receiving, you know, that ill will. I don't think they anticipated that, or they don't believe in that. Yeah. I feel like everything's being exposed as to why you had to leave this person. All right, so I feel like someone's secrets are being exposed, and you are being vindicated for why you left this person. Okay, everybody's seeing clearly now who this person is and what you experienced at their hand, and you know what a player this person is, and why you moved on from them. Like, you started something new over here, and it was the best thing you ever did. I feel like you are maybe going to receive some sort of news. There's good news on the way. Yeah, 8 of Wands here. I feel like whatever you've been working towards creatively is going to pay off. It's going to increase. There's like this increase in movement, increase in energy, increase of reach, okay? There could be somebody coming in that is going to create some swift movement. All right, I feel like it's going to be go time is what I'm hearing. Yeah, 8 of Pentacles. It has something to do with what you're mastering, some sort of skill, some sort of like you're learning something new, and as a result, like it's starting to pick up. It's starting to take traction. All right, so if you're like a content creator, or you are learning to speak, or you're doing music or a website or whatever you're working on, or maybe you like to knit, maybe you like to build. I feel like whatever you're building, you are mastering whatever it is, okay? And I feel like that's where this energy is going to come in and just like, woof, a beautiful big wave of energy is coming in. Let's see. 8 of Pentacles. Okay, 6 of Pentacles. Might be something that you do that maybe helps others. You kind of maybe... You're like a pay it forward kind of person. It's like I was picking up earlier, like you're going to be blessed so that you can help bless others. Like you're going to be the channel for that in some way. Doesn't matter how small or big that is. It could just be your intentions, your ability to realize that like you could help someone in a situation. However, there is energy here that wants to take advantage of that kindness. So just know that there's a lot of opportunists out here. All right. So I feel like that's why, it's important that, you use your discernment to know, like, who should you involve yourself with and who you shouldn't. So this is kind of like planting seeds in the right place and using your divine guidance here, right? To know if this is someone you should be working with or helping or not, because not everybody is for you. And I feel like you've certainly learned that people pretend, right? And they can keep this mask on for a certain amount of time, but then eventually they show their true colors. I feel like you saw someone's true colors, and this is what they're being judged for, is who they truly are, not who they try to show everybody who they are. Like they may pretend to do good deeds so that, people kind of start to trust them, maybe even at work. But I'm getting, eventually they can't keep up the charade. Okay, they end up betraying themselves. What's this Three of Pentacles? Is this a new collaboration? Page of Pentacles. I feel like this energy from the past could still be working or dealing with this third party. All right. I feel like there's this energy that might be working to create some sort of obstacle for you, some sort of blockage, some sort of defamation even. I feel like, whatever they have said, it doesn't matter. Whatever they feel like they can offer, they can't. You're not interested in whatever they have to offer. I feel like somebody is struggling with their own value and worth. Maybe this Queen of Wands is not really seeing the value that they thought this person had, or vice versa, masculine, feminine, whatever that is. Like I'm getting like you're meant to kind of like build something, create something, maybe mentor. So I feel like they're lying about you and your character so that people wouldn't work with you. Okay, so they tried to create some sort of illusion that someone else is better. So maybe you're dealing with like a copycat energy. So maybe they stole your content and made it as if they created the content, or there's something like weird here that somebody made money off of, and it's like dirty. Okay, it's very dirty. I'm getting like, I say dirty because I'm getting like dark attachments dirty. I feel like somebody was doing something at work that they shouldn't have been doing. All right, and I'm getting like for money, and then I'm getting the Queen of Wands here, and it could have been like online with the World card. So I feel like there's some sort of like getting caught up with that. I feel like you're going to be moving towards somewhere else and leaving this drama behind. Look what just came out. Three of Swords and the Page of Cups. Yeah, somebody was having relations outside of whatever dynamic this was. Okay? And I feel like they were hiding maybe even a child. Okay, I feel like somebody is being betrayed as it relates to some sort of child here. Maybe someone thought it was their child and it wasn't, or someone used a child to interfere in a third party dynamic here, or your relationship. I'm getting maybe that was one of the tactics to steal somebody from someone, is to get knocked up or say you're knocked up so that they have to support them for the rest of their lives. I'm getting like child support energy here. Yep. I feel like this is what someone dangles in someone's face. Like, you can't move on for me because, you have to provide because we have a child together kind of energy. So I'm getting like baby mama energy. Or like, there could even be like some fakeness about that too. Yeah, because I'm getting like there was a need to like leave somebody, and it was because they were, one, immature and childish, and two, they were abusive to your children, potentially, and three, they may have been hiding a child or a pregnancy. Or someone used a pregnancy to manipulate somebody out of a dynamic that they were in. So there was like heartache, betrayal, three's a crowd energy, right? because I'm getting 2 pages on both sides here. Yeah, and then I'm getting the King of Cups here. That's who I'm talking about here. So it's water sign energy. What are these? Queen of Swords, Ace of Wands, 4 of Cups. Yeah, so it's like this whole situation freed this whole situation freed you from the burdens, okay, as well as the pain and suffering and the unrequited love. And, you know, you're meant to do something, you know, much bigger than whatever they wanted to keep you trapped in, because they're burdened and they don't have love. Like, this was all like not for you, but it was used to help you to have this strong connection with God. And I feel like it's stronger than ever, baby. It's stronger than ever. And, you know, this is like a bit of like choosing the divine path and you know, being in alignment with the divine and the divine plan, and learning and growing and expanding your soul. I feel like somebody may be more tied. I feel like this energy here that we've been picking up karmic wise, you know, is more involved in the earthly realms, right? The earthly type stuff, and you're more on the spiritual stuff. You're going up in the spiritual realm and you're bringing stuff here in the physical. You know, they're more concerned about, like, you know, looking like they're the shit while they, you know, gaslight and manipulate a bunch of people, and, you know, bring their problems to everybody else because they won't deal with them themselves. I feel like you're not taking on anyone else's problems. All right, like you've been freed from that karmic cycle, and they have to deal with their own stuff, is what I'm getting, which, you know, makes sense. Like, clean up your own mess. Clean up in aisle 5. All right, I wanted to get a couple cards from this deck. All right, let's see. I don't usually use this deck, but I would like to. It's called the Obsidian Veil. Okay. What do we got here? What is the shiznit here? Let's see. One more? Okay. The Siren. Beware of bewitching song, for within it lies the perilous power of empty promises. That's what happened here. Someone fell for a siren, right? An incubus, a succubus, someone who comes in like the Jezebel energy, whatever you want to call it. I feel like somebody fell for the empty promises, and that has forever changed their life. Let's get one more. Yeah. Someone fell for seduction, temptation, lust, and money. I stand as a reminder that mortality's embrace is but a gateway to eternal transformation. Oh yeah, look at how sick this is. Woo, what doesn't kill you will certainly make you stronger, right? I feel like this is, Shinigami is the name, right? What does it say again? I stand as a reminder that mortality's embrace is but a gateway to eternal transformation. Yeah, someone learned that. Someone learned that, you know, they have completely died and been reborn again while still living. Boudica. Though we may be outnumbered, our spirit shall never be conquered. Right? This is that like fighting, resilient spirit. So whatever they tried to send your way only made you stronger. Okay? Wow. Power can manifest in unexpected forms, even within the delicate vials of deadly secrets. That's for somebody. This is Catherine de Medici. All right, one more. Eve. By embracing one's curiosity and through one's choices, destiny is shaped. Yeah, that is the story for sure. Someone fell for the poison apple, and as a result, their destiny is changed forever. Wow. They will need to pay for whatever they have created here. So it is, and so it will be. I'll see you guys in the next reading. Take care, and I love you so much. Thanks for all your support, by the way. Hearts, right?